And it is Takumi versus Ripper in the second round of the Masked Duelist, where nobody knows who's playing, not even themselves. The pros, I guess, know that they're playing themselves, but they don't know who they're playing against, as Takumi is going to start with an air dribble into a reset. Actually gets played directly into his car by Ripper. If you are just tuning in for the first time, either live or on YouTube, this whole tournament is hidden players in 1v1s. It is an 8-player single elimination tournament in which nobody gets to know who they're playing against. They're playing on alt accounts. So they're playing in Stocktanes on alt accounts. There really is no way to track them down. And they're going to have to try and win the $500 prize for getting first. In the process, of course, chat will be trying to guess who they think is playing, and the players themselves will guess who they're playing after each round. And we'll reveal all of that at the end of the tournament. After the grand finalist wins, that is when we will reveal who was playing all along. We've had one match so far. I encourage checking you out if you haven't checked it out, but it was Vulcan versus Endo. And we had people guessing on those players. We've had basically 2 guesses. I don't want to say who they are in case you haven't watched the other games. Go back and watch them. But I do want to remind the players and not only the players, but also the chatters who have guessed that if you end up seeing someone who you think is actually a better fit for your original guess, keep in mind, you're not guaranteed to be right. So just because you guess one player one time doesn't mean maybe you shouldn't just guess them again in case you were wrong first time around. A pogo attempt from Ripper is not going to work. Now, I don't know how many players go for pogos. I feel like it's not a ton. And for Feer fans, you should have your pogo index completely in your head. You know how much I love pogos. So start going down the list of everybody who has ever attempted a pogo. But in this case, Ripper did not really hit that good of a one. Ripper going for a ground dribble as they cut across the map. Ripper now from ceiling heights. Not going to pull the trigger until Takumi challenges. And Takumi is just waiting it out. Super passive. Great placement from Ripper to put it up behind them. Chat has, of course, been doing their best to try and get hints from me or get me to leak. I have not leaked anything so far, which is a great sign. As Takumi is going to take a full field air dribble, just barely missed off the top right. Hit the post and out. But it is fun to watch the chatters guess as the game goes on. I will never reveal whether you guys are on track or not. Don't worry. Of course, the best way to do it, and the way that actually Age of Empires 2, which is where a lot of people have referenced this kind of tournament, does it, is the commentators don't know either. The commentators get to basically play the game alongside the chat. I don't. I had to talk to every player to set them up. So I do know who's playing as Ripper gets a 50. And it seemed like they were trying to get a wave dash, but even if they did, they probably wouldn't have used it. Awkward landing that a dash would not help. You'll set it up for me next time? All right, I appreciate that. You should have had Johnny cast. You know what? I could mess. The thing is, I feel really weird about asking other creators to help make me content with no gain for them. Because while I would love to have Johnny on and have him maybe playing the game in the process, it's almost like asking someone to work in their off time. So I probably won't do that. Ripper up 4-3. Oh, by the way, I think I missed at least one or sub. Sebpie, thank you for the Prime. And then Sleaze Breeze, thank you for the Tier 1 for 18 months. Now that you've subbed for 18 months, Feer can finally DM me with the player names. Yeah, all 18-month plus subs get the player names. Everybody knows that. As well as anyone who gifts 5 subs. But of course, not really. Takumi gonna make it a tied game here with 1:47 left to go. Ripper out of the air loses control of the ball. Ripper off of a midfield challenge, or sorry, a challenge, not really midfield, outside his box. Wins it into the midfield and follows up for a goal. Ripper, another kickoff win. Minute 30, getting close to where someone can actually play their lead, but right now it's actually the counterattacks that seem to be favoring both players. The initial possessions are getting eaten up and scored on the other way, which is not something you really want to be the case. You definitely cannot dictate the game and hold on to your lead and end it if your possessions almost seem to favor the other player, even if your counterattacks are good as well. Ripper winning this one into the corner, into an air dribble, touch far away from the wall, ground pinch, it's soft, but it's in! Takumi could not get the save. Takumi seemed positioned well enough for it. Decided to transition to the ground. This shot is not very strong, but it's strong enough. And it ends up going in at 83 kilometers per hour. I think most of that speed was actually given to the ball by Takumi. Ripper chasing down Takumi. Takumi gets the demo, swinging around the ball, wide open net, taking their sweet time. Want to be 100% sure they get this goal, as it's now a tie game with 50 seconds left. At the end of the tourney, will you tell me, or will you tell us who everyone is? Yeah, I'll tell it. We'll do a full reveal after the grand final. Imagine I just never tell anyone. Oh, that was a good tournament. Oh, what a catch. What a re-catch by Takumi. Takumi lost the air dribble and re-caught it again. Enough that I thought there was a chance they were going to score, but credit to Ripper for getting the save. Takumi, 50 near the nets. Ripper's completely on zero boost, and Takumi's going to take it away. So this is likely the goal to win the game, but you never know. It's been a fairly high-scoring one. 7-6 with 12 seconds left to go. Ripper, actually, great kickoff win. It's going to chase Takumi down to the blue half. Chip off the wall to put it in a dangerous position, but Takumi air dribbles it away and gets it to the ground. So game number one going to go to Takumi. And I'm not going to let you guys see the post screen. You cannot see any sort of hint. Whoops. Overdid it. Takumi versus Ripper. Game one going to Takumi. I don't think it happened last game, so I'll mention it. Don't worry too much about the bot names that show up. For some reason, Epic is assigning bot names to the accounts for a bit. Takumi, after the close game one win, taken to the skies. Nothing really comes of it. Ripper, little double jump pop, or not a double jump pop, but the ball double jumps is what I want to say. It's actually just a wave dash kind of cut that pops the ball up on a 1-2 touch, and then a little bump to guarantee the goal. Ripper to ceiling heights. Pogo bounce. Wait a second. Ripper's my new favorite player. Ripper has gone for 2 pogos. Therefore, they're dark. We can all agree. Takumi, full-foot air dribble from the back corner, has the reset. Shot over the top, and it's 1-1. One of the things that I do really like about this tournament that I didn't realize was going to happen, or about doing these matches, is there are players who I don't think gets the kind of love they maybe should. And it's interesting when you anonymize everybody and don't let anybody just like glob on to the people they already think are good or the names they already think are good. What a save for Takumi. They end up getting really excited about some players they maybe never would have thought of before. I know when I did the first one, actually, which was Diaz versus Toxic, it was not part of this tournament. It was just one of the test ones that we did. A lot of people were like, man, Diaz is that good? Like, that player was insane. And I'm like, yeah, Diaz has always been that good. He's been that good from the beginning. How do you not realize it? And maybe just because he's from Brazil or something. So it's fun that with everyone being anonymous, you know, maybe there'll be more cases of that where people are like, man, Ripper's insane. How come I didn't realize it when Ripper was using their regular name? Takumi gonna get a tying goal on a counterattack. Ripper, a little camera check to see what Takumi is up to. Flick gets sent away, pinned into the crossbar. Curve dash from Takumi as they jumped high to stop anything going in the air, but stayed low enough to get the low 50 as well. Ripper, can they recover and get a goal? Seems like they should be able to, but Takumi was actually there. Takumi stood a chance at making this save after this challenge went really poorly. They went for a wave dash recovery and actually ended up going too far. Takumi, air dribble 50. Does not succeed. Ripper able to make the save. Ripper sees the pre-jump and leaves the ball on the ground. That's going to be a really fast pinch. 155 kilometer per hour. What a goal from Ripper. Absolutely ripping the pinch off the post. Are these bots our people? What if the big reveal was that I've been working on a ton of different 1v1 bots, and at the end of it all, I revealed that actually no humans were playing. It was all versions of Feer that I helped work on that are slightly different from each other. Ripper with a bit of a bounce back game. Last one went back and forth. Actually kind of felt Ripper favored at the very end before Takumi took it away. But I think a 3-goal lead is maybe the biggest lead we've seen for either one of these guys. Takumi actually going to be able to score this. I want to watch this from Ripper POV because it felt like they were going to be able to get back in time. 0 boost. And they just kind of didn't commit on making that save. They tried to wait and go passive. I think there's a world they can jump and challenge there on, closer to the near post and maybe get a save. They elected to play it a bit more passive, and now it's a kickoff goal for Takumi, and I talked about Ripper pulling away. Well, it's 3 straight goals as soon as I do for Takumi to even it up. Ripper seemingly declining the wall to air dribble. For those of you keeping track, that was an opportunity that many players would intentionally set up a wall to air dribble. Ripper did not. Ripper kind of chipped it off the side wall, wanted to stay grounded. Is that a mix-up in their game? Is it something they do all the time? That's for you guys to decide. Ripper, a rolling hook shot, but took it way too early. The point where Takumi didn't really have to worry about the shot legitimately going anywhere. He knew it was going near post. Double jump bump. Ripper makes a save. 2 seconds left to go. Can Ripper hold on to possession? You can see not terribly worried about attacking the net, it would seem, as they tried to cut the ball to the corner, but actually set up the perfect hook shot. Ripper, just a slight roll to the left, and all you need to do is chip that ball on target. It's the 1v1 play that never goes out of style, assuming you're given enough space to do it. That is really why you maybe don't see it as often as you used to. Players have stopped giving that much ground space to anybody, but Ripper seems like they're going to be bringing back a game. "25 seconds left to go." Wave dash kickoff is crisper for Takumi as Ripper slams one to the backboard. A follow-up top shelf. Ripper going to make it 9-5. Schmitty, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Ripper, one last bump. Doesn't seem to be terribly interested in scoring it necessarily. We'll let it roll on the ground, and we will switch off of this screen as Ripper ties up the series 1-1. Game number 3. These guys were asking if they could guess, just so you know, in case you see that chat in the top left. They were saying, can they guess who they're playing against? But I do not want them to guess to the other person. I want them to guess only to me in DMs. And of course, oh my goodness, Ripper. Ripper just about popped off, but did not score. Takumi on the hook shots. Does not connect. Oh my goodness, what a read by Ripper. Is Ripper going to score it? Reset shot. Look at this play from Ripper. Takumi looking to clear it high. Ripper goes to the ceiling, steals it away, using the flip, gets back to the ball, gets a reset, and pops it around Takumi. Ripper missing the wave dash. Now trying to chase down the ball. Takumi's going to get their first goal. You're curious to see the pros' accuracy in guessing versus chats? In my 2 test games that we played, so basically we did the first match that I found out people can cheat too easily, so then I made the alts. In those games, of the 4 people that could have been guessed, the pros got 3 of them right. And the only person who guessed wrong was Diaz. Was trying to guess Toxic, and he went with a bait because there was like a Cloud9 banner, so he guessed a Cloud9 player thinking they had forgotten to switch it. So, you know, I don't know. That one was questionable. Maybe in a different context, Diaz figures it out in that first game. But yeah, they're pretty good. Not only are they pretty good, they do have a little bit of extra info compared to you guys. They get to see the ping. So, you know, even if it's exactly the same, that still gives you maybe a smaller pool of players than you would otherwise have. Nice pop over the top for Takumi as Ripper tried to intercept on a backflip. Takumi boost grab, wants Ripper to leave, but Ripper has no intent in doing so. Ripper has played a lot closer defensively than Takumi has. Takumi at times will just retreat all the way back to the corner. That's when we've seen Ripper set up those ground plays and hook shots. I don't know if that's going to be an adjustment for Takumi going forward to try and not allow Ripper to get that, especially after a dominant game 2. But Takumi popping off on a reset, hitting it with the tail end of the shots. As Takumi going to make it 3-2. Ripper turning ball cam off there for a second, but a lot of separation from the ball, which usually results in a really quick and powerful touch as they flip back. That's exactly what Takumi gets. Takumi might not be able to keep this out, but he's able to get the goal line 50 and the boost grab. So Ripper forced that to the midfield, but because the ball is rolling, it's actually not that bad of a situation for Ripper. Takumi just pre-jumped and covered angles, which actually caused Ripper to miss. But you can't really get away with that for very long. Costs you a lot of boost. Ripper doing the best to punish, but did not succeed in doing so. Forced all the way back to the back wall. And Takumi able to get the boost steal. Takumi lob to the goal line. Ripper gets the ceiling reset, has played well in the air so far. It's a fake this time, but Takumi understandably respected the air dribble and was expecting the use of the flip. But that was the final touch. Takumi goes flying over the top. Ripper looking for a kickoff goal, doesn't get it. Interesting wave dash recovery and then a reverse wave dash. It doesn't work out. Just leads to a possession that Ripper is able to score on as he plays it across one side of the field and just puts it back on the opposite top corner. Ripper pop over the top as Takumi did his best to double jump. No connection. Minute 51. Takumi won game number 1. Since then, Ripper seems to have the slight edge. Where did you guys go with in chat? I don't know if you guys are going to continue to just go perfectly 50-50. Actually, almost 60% in favor of Takumi. Chat going into this one felt good about Takumi. Takumi does a lot of zap dashing, a lot of landing dashes, curve dashes out of Takumi for sure. As they camera check, they don't have boost and they'd rather have it, so they're just going to give up possession. Ripper, low 50 win. Seemed like a missed wall dash there as they try to go up the curve. Takumi just going to put a powerful touch on target, and it's a tie game. Show us Red's kickoff. Okay, we'll give you Red's kickoff. I have no issue with showing you certain players' kickoffs. Maybe I've been too much on Takumi's. Standard kickoff trying to force rights for Ripper this time. Wave dash kickoff for Takumi as they go to the ceiling for the reset, and they use a perfect flip to keep that under the crossbar. It seemed like the danger of the dribble was that they're going to end up throwing it too high, but they get just underneath the ball with a soft touch to give it a little pop and slot directly into the top shelf. Takumi chaining dashes together again, this time to get a demo. Ripper respawning, goes for boost right away. Takumi, a little air dribble bump, but only half committed to it. Maybe did so to enable a better recovery for them. Ripper around Takumi in the midfield, needs a really tough close angle shot and isn't able to get it. A 23 boost for Takumi as they make one save. Wave dashing out to the ball, and Ripper lost control of it, allowed Takumi to get it clear into the orange half. 25 seconds. Was Chat Big Brain giving a 60% chance to Takumi. Challenging in the corner, Takumi takes it away. Midfield boost grab and a back corner grab. Boost control in the final moments is huge, and Takumi uses it to probably ice the game. We'll go watch some Ripper kickoffs again. Feer just let one person play all the matches against different people. I might get caught when the same person makes it to the semifinal playing themselves. They might be able to realize one person is playing on both cars. But Takumi up 2-1. Ripper starting off with a good first possession and is able to muscle out a good touch on the ball via a pool shot from Takumi, and then turns around and gets their open net. Were they all forced to be Octane? They all are forced to use one of the cars on the alt accounts. I think the game starts you with Merc, Octane, and Breakout. So, of those three, I'm assuming everyone will pick Octane. Ripper gonna make it 2-0. Ripper driving through the ball, looking for the demo on Takumi. Didn't get it. Little Ripper resets. Nothing comes of it. Ripper up 2-0, going to the ceiling. Solid challenge from Takumi, who's had to defend against a ton of aerial attacks. It is still going to be advantage Ripper here, but a boost reset for both players. And finally, Takumi cannot stop the aerial play, but because there is no aerial play, Ripper just lets it roll on the ground as Takumi gets faked out by that ball being on top of their car. People guess Appjack for every match. I think the most popular players are unsurprisingly going to get guessed the most, kind of regardless of how each player looks. Because if you imagine there's a list in someone's head of all the players it could be, apparently Jack, Reddles, Daniel, first kill, like the players that are very popular are going to be on everyone's list of possible picks. What a shot from Takumi, just barely too high. Whereas, you know, maybe the less popular players are only going to be on a few people's list. So they're just going to get guessed probably less often. It doesn't surprise me that Appjack, the biggest YouTuber and a big 1v1er, is going to be guessed basically every single game for both players. Ripper, all of a sudden making this look like it's not a close match, because it has been the whole way. In fact, Ripper even had a decent lead in game number 3, and it went away. They have a 5-goal cushion now, and Takumi is in defense simulator, losing every single kickoff and doing their best to not let the score get even worse. Takumi going to get there first as they zap dash after their goal. Chaining some wall dashes together is Takumi, trying to get more opportunities for everyone to figure out what's going on. I feel like once the ball goes in the net, there's 3 seconds, 4 seconds or whatever, the players get to drive around under no game context. Maybe they're using those moments to hint to you guys. Maybe they're using those moments to do the opposite, trick you. Ripper low 50 around the net. Gonna make it 6-1. Takumi, low 50, bounce off the back wall. Can't get back to this one. So Ripper's going to make it 7-1. And that's it. I had a feeling it could be coming soon. And Takumi has had enough. The Brazil is good enough for him to feel like he lost it. We are headed to Game 5 in the Masked Duelist. Players should earn more if no one guesses who they are. I don't think so, because I think this game is very hard. I don't know if you guys agree. I think this game is very hard. I don't think we need anybody in the tournament trying to hide who they are. I think it's already hard enough if they just play exactly how they always do. So I don't want to give any incentive to make people try and hide who they are. But we got Game 5. No question that at least in this very match, Takumi and Ripper seem equally matched. Are one of them popping off when it maybe shouldn't be a close match? Or would they historically be considered to be in a close match either way? That's not for me to decide. That's for you guys to decide. Ripper. Big Flick has momentum for sure headed into Game 5. As Ripper heads to the ceiling, forces a 50 to the right wall. Gonna fly past the ball, and Takumi decides to instantly give up possession, and actually it paid off. Normally it's not the best idea to launch the ball to the side of the field and allow, I almost said Outlaw, which is just his bot name, Ripper, to get the catch and keep possession, but he pops the ball up. Takumi wants a bump, doesn't get it. Can Ripper counter quick enough to take advantage of that? Doesn't seem like they got control of the ball, but a couple bumps and it will be a goal for Ripper. Delayed kickoff for Takumi. You know, once upon a time, how players handled their kickoff, delaying, wave dashing, standards, etc. It used to be a really big tell because not a lot of players would mix it up much. But I would say just about everybody in the ones game at the level at which I invited these players, they do a good amount of mixing up their kickoff. Hook shots from Ripper denied. Ripper has been going for those hook shots a decent amount, as Takumi will find nothing out of this double. Ripper chip and soft touch around Takumi for a 2-1 lead. Ripper, no hook shots, bumping Takumi. Wow, what a recovery. We're on Takumi POV. But I think that was a bit of a difficult car control problem for Takumi to solve. But seemingly did a perfect job of it. Ripper sending one into the crossbar, back down, and following it up for a goal. Whenever you're able to miss by just a hair like that, so often pays off because defenders are good enough that they cover everything that goes in. 100%, you know, almost 100% of shots that are heading in, they'll save. So you actually have to miss slightly to make sure they don't get a touch and get them to commit and then score. Nice kill of the ball on the goal line for Takumi after the demo. Ripper waiting patiently. Takumi is going to back off. Ripper being really, really patient with the ball. Doesn't seem to have an idea of what he wants to really do out of the corner there. And just doesn't want to make a mistake, and yet that's still kind of what happened. Gave up possession, and Takumi able to tie it up. Ripper, ground dribble, and actually it just ends up being a goal. Another ground dribble hook shot. There's no question that if you've been watching the match, you know that that's what Ripper likes to do. So who in your Rolodex of players do you see doing that a bunch? Ripper saw that Takumi was approaching the 50 and knew that they could win it heavily. So double jumped and forced it into the back wall. Takumi probably wrong to try and play that aggressively. And then ends up handing the ball away. So 5-3 lead for Ripper, who was down 2-1 in the series. Delay kickoff again for Takumi. So I said, players do it, all across the board, but we haven't seen it from Ripper yet. Takumi has delay kicked off multiple times now. Ripper, oh my goodness, had the perfect arc. Now just has the other side of the net. What a save! What a great recovery for Takumi. And Takumi gets a very hard-earned goal as this game is winding down. That was about to be a series-ending goal that Takumi just prevented with a clean recovery in net into a powerful save. And you really can't blame Ripper for feeling like they had an open shot and putting power on the ball. But man, credit to Takumi. Kickoff is not really in his favor though, and now Ripper is staring at an open net. Soft touch. Waste maybe another half second by not hitting it hard. And it's a 2-goal lead. Ripper 50s to force this one high. Takumi is in a really tough spot. Has to hold on to boost best they can. Never really seen anybody win with a serious boost disadvantage, down multiple goals, and right now Takumi's on absolutely zero, so it's hard to imagine a world they get out, but man, they did it earlier, and they make yet another save. The problem is, without the boost, you just can't score, and that's what I'm talking about. You maybe make miracle save after miracle save, but how do you get it the other way? Well, Takumi has a chance. They need to get it there quickly, and this one is going to bounce. 0 seconds. Should be a goal for Takumi, but a win in the series for Ripper. So it is GG's from Takumi and Ripper, as Ripper will advance 3-2. GG's. All right. Now it is your favorite time, and I forgot to play the music, which I think goes with it so well. Who played in this best of 5? Let's start with Takumi. Who was Takumi, chat? I see Wavy, I see AJ, I see Eris, Beast Mode, Cosmic, Drafinho, Zapatos. Oh, we have Beast Mode down. Dapper. 2 more. Actually, there's not a ton of unique names you guys are saying. There's the Appjack we get probably at least every time. Lots of AJs. I feel like I know how this guess is going to go. We need at least 10. I want one more unique guess. Cosmic we have. Diaz is unique. Who is Takumi, chat? Your guys' guess is just, I mean, it's not even close. You guys say Takumi is AJ. Give me your names for who you think Ripper is. I see Cosmic. I see Wavy. I see Lion Blaze. I see Reddles. I see Beast Mode. I see Squishy. I see Zen. I see Chronic. We have Reddles down already, right? I see a few more Reddles. Another AJ. You guys seem so certain the other guy is AJ. I see an Atomic, and I think that brings us to 10. Who was Ripper, chat? All right. Sorry, doing a lot of adminning on the side. You guys are 100% sure it's Wavy. So chat's guess for Ripper is Wavy. 40 guesses for Wavy. You guys had Wavy versus AJ.